You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
Yeah, that's the vibe we on. It's the vibe we on today. Just relax. Don't let the stress get you. Find an outlet for that. Yeah. Come on. Wherever you at. Hola. Hello. Aloha to all my people around the world that's tuning in and listening. I'm loving it. Thank you for doing so. That's right. You are now listening and watching the Mike's Opinion podcast. I should have said listening to, right? How you doing? You know I always want to know, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay out there. As always, I always want to know how you doing. Chime in, let me know. Say, yo, Mike, F my life. Yo, Mike, I'm balling out. Yo, Mike, I just left the gym. Hit me up, mikesopinionshow@gmail.com, or preferably anywhere on the socials, as you hit that like, subscribe, share, follow, maybe even leave a comment. Had a comment last week. It was very nice. The show continues to grow. Yo, my YouTube numbers, they're a fraction of like Mr. Beast or some of these huge YouTubers out there. You know, I know I'm not doing crazy stuff, so a lot of people don't tune in. This is for really like people that like to really think and listen and intellectualize and be edutained, right? So that's really, where I'm at, and always have been. 4 years strong, over 200 episodes. Dig in, tell your friends, and tell a friend to tell a friend. People that like to read books, people that like to talk about stuff that's not gossip. They've got plenty of shows for the gossip and the fluff, and I ain't hating. I'm not hating. They do what they do. A lot of them are doing it well and are profitable endeavors. But here, there's no commercials. I'm not reading no ads. I'm not doing none of that. I hadn't put it behind a paywall, so you have to pay to get this content. Nope. It's free to you. Not free to make, but free to you. So I appreciate all of you out there that are doing that. Today is the world famous update episode, and oh wait, I got some juicy stuff. I'm gonna save one of the topics till last. It's gonna be the last topic because it's a little bit personal to me. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely do that. But as always, like I said, I sincerely, hear me when I say this every episode. At the beginning and the end, I mean it. I hope you are okay. I hope you are doing all right. If you are not doing all right, talk to somebody. Write it down. You don't feel like writing, start making an audio diary or even a video diary. Talk to yourself and then listen back to it or watch it. You know what I'm saying? Find a way, just go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have the environment, but if you do, meditate. That's where it starts, right there. Focus on your breathing. You know what I'm saying? Find the help that you need to be okay, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are not okay. For fun, I scroll social media a few times a day. Usually, one of my businesses, I have to upload stuff, not the podcast, which I have to upload stuff too, but I'll wait for an upload, and I'll just scroll. Usually when I'm sitting on the throne, handling that bathroom business, I'll scroll. And I see all these people living their best life and their fantastic life, and they at the beach or they at the club or they at the restaurant. That's fine. Like I said, I'm loving you if you are doing well and you great. But I'm also intuitive. I'm also from New York City. I grew up around a lot of people. I can take one look at you and tell if you faking the funk. And there's a lot of people out there that's faking. I can see the anger or the sadness or the depression in their eyes, but they smiling because they're on the beach. And maybe that's what they need, but it's a lot of lonely, hurt people out there. And I'm not just speaking to them, I'm speaking to everybody that I hope you are doing all right. So let's dig in. Let's dig in. This first story on the update episode, oh man, I was bugging when I read this. And you say, yo, Mike, don't nobody say bugging no more. Well, I say it, I was bugging. I was bugging, because so this dude, he's 32 now, right? And I always do the research. And let me just dig in my notes real quick. Why can I get to my notes? Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Where did my notes go? It says I can't minimize this window. I can't get to my notes. What is the problemo? I can open anything else. Wow, that's crazy. Bear with me here just for a moment. This is nuts that I can't get to my notes. Anyway, I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. Support the show, please. Support the show, please, because I can't get to my notes because I need a new computer. This dude, 32 years old, and I believe he was in Massachusetts. I need my notes. So I'm going to have to cut this out. So please bear with me for just a second. I'll be right back. There are my notes. All right. So, I'm back and I got my notes. So, this dude he was in Massachusetts. He was in Arizona. His name is Ben Havoc. And what a name, right? To have a name like Havoc. Havoc. All right. I can get to my notes now. So Ben went to blow his nose very recently, last week or so. And a Lego popped out of his nose. Yep, you heard me right. Ben in Arizona has had sleep apnea and problems breathing for the last 26 years. 26 years. Now, some people might be like, yo, that's cap. But I'm always skeptical. I'm from New York, and I live on Earth. There's humans. Some humans be full of that caca. They be full of BS. I can't say that it is not looking at the picture of this. And I don't know if I want to start adding pictures and stuff, but looking at the pictures of this little Lego piece. Legos come in all different shapes and sizes. This was a little round little piece. It looked like it was stuck in somebody's head for 26 years. So I'm assuming his mother tested this, but he said when he was 6 years old, he was sticking stuff up his nose. Kids stick stuff in their nose. That's a fact. Okay. Kids do kid stuff. So, and then he had stuck this little piece in his nose. It didn't come out. He couldn't get it out. He stuck the whole Lego head in his nose. Little Lego man. Got that stuck in it. Called his mom's. His mom's comes and gets the piece out. She thinks that's it. It's not. It's not. This little Lego has been stuck in my man's nose way up there for 26 years. Yo, 6 years old, they do, kids do kid stuff. I'm not going to say dumb stuff. I'm just going to say kid stuff. But you ain't like at 16, you like, ain't, you ain't never had chew or blew your nose hard. It's been lodged for 26 years. He said he's going to take it to the doctor and get it analyzed. Look, I know a lot of people doing all kinds of wild stuff, posting all kind of wild stuff to get their 15 minutes of fame. And maybe, I'll check on Ben. Maybe you can check on Ben and let me know if he's launching a product or if he got a YouTube channel or if he's trying to, if maybe he's using that as an in. Because the news media picked it up and Ben is now national news. And I'm talking about Ben. Right? Now you know about Ben. Lego head Ben. And I don't mean to make light of that because I'm sure it could have been detrimental. Plastic, like Lego, doesn't seem like that like it leaches, like meaning that it'll slowly dissolve. The Lego seems like for life. And I'm not sponsored. I've said the word Lego about 15 times, probably say it some more. Lego, give me a check. Lego's amazing. Simply amazing. Don't step on one at your bare feet at any time, but in the middle of the night on the way to the fridge, all of us that have kids that have ever stepped on a Lego, oh my, look, I'm a man. I'm all man. And I've been in the street. I've suffered injuries. I just put like that. Stepping on a Lego, the pain ranking, it ranks up there probably in the top 10 pains I've ever felt in my life. Because it hurts a lot. A lot. So, yo, shout out to Big Ben Havoc, the Lego in the head, man. And I'm glad you got it out. I'm glad you got it out. That's all I can say, because ooh to the wee. Here we go again with my notes tripping. So, all right. On to the next story. And this one is a far more serious story. How many of y'all out there remember pagers? Remember pagers? Huh? Beepers? Yo, shorty, beat me on my beep. Hit me with that 143. If it's an emergency, hit me with that 911. You know what I'm saying? I'm old enough to have had a pager. At one time, I carried 2 or 3 of them joints. Get that beep, 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 trying to look fly, yo. Yo, I'm getting this beep from this shorty. You know what I'm saying? And you go to the payphone or your home phone. Wasn't too many mobile phones out there. Yeah, I'm old enough I saw the advent of the mobile phone. They used to be this big, yo. They used to be brick. You used to have to hold this joint like this. Yo. And I was on the BlackBerry camp for a long time, even after iPhones came out. Not no more though. But hey yo. I don't contend to truly, fully understand the war in Israel and, Iran and Hamas and Hezbollah and all of this stuff that's going on over there across the pond and in the Middle East, parts of Africa. I know what I know about it. I have an overall general understanding. But if you haven't heard, recently, supposedly, allegedly, Israel going against Hezbollah, is my understanding. Blew up a bunch of pages, and a second wave, they blew up a bunch of walkie-talkies. I haven't experience with pagers the way I do. And I understand they still use them. Apparently, pagers are still being used. I know doctors, some in the States still use them. Shout out, give me a shout out if you still use a pager and tell me why. You know, maybe a physician, maybe you have some kind of job that you can't get a call on your mobile device or something like that. I'd like to know why you still use a pager. Slide it to my DMs or publicly, or like I said, Mike'sOpinionShow@gmail.com. Shoot me a message, or leave it in the comments on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube right now. I'd really like to know why people still use pages. But walkie-talkies, I get it. But the phone has taken such prominence, you know. But the walkie is like, they used to have it on the phone. I can't remember which one it was, but you chirp. But that, I don't know if people have that on cell phones. I don't think iPhone has that where you can use the walkie feature. I think it would be convenient, right? But unless you do something like Shannon Sharp did, like on live, and you have your walkie on and you're over there with side chick or side dude or whatever you got going on that you don't want nobody to know about, and that button is depressed and people can hear everything you're doing. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I was thinking how sinister you have to be to, like, and I don't know how they did it, but how sinister you have to be to blow up somebody's pager. And there were lots of these. Like, people died. I think the death toll was up to 14 and many others injured. So when you fighting a war against somebody and you either had to do it from a hardware side way in advance where it could be sent a signal and explode, or you had to find a way, and here's the scary part, to do it through software. And I hope it's the hardware side. Hear me out. Because if it's the software side and they made the battery blow up, that means any mobile device with a battery can be made to blow up by software. That's frightening. If they ever wanted to get us to stop, I don't even know if that would stop. If people knew that their phone might blow up, do you think they would still stop using it? Oh, they probably would just use it in a bomb-proof case, I guess. That'd be a whole nother industry. But imagine the two big ones, you know, Apple and Samsung. I know Google's in the phone business as well. But imagine that for a second, that we had to live with the threat of our mobile devices blowing up. People would stop using them. I would stop using mine. Imagine that. You like this and pow. That's why I wanted to mention this story, because from what I've learned, they're still trying to determine how they did that. Because if these people were wearing these pagers and they bought, you know, they bought those pagers from someone that had implanted explosives in there, that's, like I said, that's sinister. That's beyond premeditated. That's crazy, is what that is. Crazy. So let's hope, if you find out it was software, please let me know. Let me know. I read all the comments. Like, there's a lot. There haven't been a lot of comments, but I do read the ones that come in. But you know, slide into the DMs. Contact me one way or another. I don't care how you do it, but just say, yo, Mike, I found out how they got these pages and walkie-talkies to explode. And like I said, I'm hoping that it's a hardware situation and not a software situation, because that would be bananas. Moving on, yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny. But if you happen to be in the state of Washington, not Washington, D.C., I'm talking about Northwest. Yeah, California, Washington, Oregon, up there. Beautiful part of the country. Beautiful. Okay. Used to live in California. I visited the Seattle area, Issaquah area. Had a tour of the Microsoft campus when I was dating a young lady whose brother was an executive for Microsoft. Good times. Good times. But if you happen to be in Washington and you see a river otter, run. The river otters are not playing. They're not playing. Yo, Mike, you say, yo, Mike, what are you talking about? Listen, last Thursday, okay, and by the way, I just remembered I meant to say this at the top of the show. I apologize. I'm a day late and a dollar short. I usually drop at noon every Wednesday. This is dropping noon on Thursday because I was busy. I was so busy. I was busy. And anyway, I didn't get a chance to record. And so I'm doing it now, and this will drop noon. So I apologize that I didn't have the episode ready for you noon on Wednesdays. But typically, Wednesday, noon Central Time, that's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. But so last Thursday, imagine for a second, you're a mom, you and your young daughter are just chilling at the marina, right? On the dock that's out into the water. And all of a sudden, this river otter jumps up and snatches your daughter into the water, under the water. I don't think you heard me. I don't think you heard me. Yo, Earth is so wild. Earth is bananas, yo. It's such a ride. It's so just amazing. Sometimes for the wrong reasons. This is one of those wrong reasons. Fortunately, mom's dived into action. The river otter popped back up without her daughter. She got her daughter out. Okay. During the process of getting her daughter out, River Otter wasn't done. River Otter, what? Are you trying to get my snack? I got something for you. Chomped up the mom's arm. Anyway, they got out the water. This is not the first River Otter incident in the Northwest. There have been nearly a dozen over the last several years. Last year, 3 women were attacked while they were inner tubing down the Jefferson River in Montana. All 3 women received treatment for their injuries, and one of them was so bad she had to be flown via helicopter to the hospital. River otters ain't playing. They're not playing. They ain't. It's not a game. It's not a game. River otters are fed up with humans, and they're like, yo, I got something for you. I'm snatching your kid. Don't play with nature. Do not play with nature. Because nature is not playing with you. They tired of us humans. Yo, you turned on the boat, or you stepped too loud on the dock. I was asleep. I was chilling. Give me your daughter. Come here. Yo, and like I said, I'm not laughing because it's not funny. It's humor can be found in anything. I would not find humor. I would try my best not to find humor in anything that's tragic. This was awful, but everybody was okay. They trapped some of the otters, and I don't know. They didn't tell me. I didn't find the information if there was rabies involved, because animals will do some extra wild stuff if there's rabies involved. If they're rabid. But um, I hope it was rabid, just not a pissed off river otter. But if you happen to live in or are around, or visiting the places where river otters might be, watch yourself, because they're not playing. Now, there are some creatures that's just going to bite you for no reason at all. Spiders, snakes. You're just walking and you disturbed me. I'm going to sink my fangs into you. Your Earth is wild. Earth is wild. When I read that, I was like, yo, I got to share this story, because this story, the truth is always, it's so much stranger than fiction, or at least equal to it, because our fictional minds prior to AI used to come up with some really imaginative stuff. Excuse me. But AI now, we're not really imagining, right? It's computer programs. Anyway, I digress, like I normally do. Shout outs to the woman at the Bremerton Marina in Kitsap County in Washington State, and to the woman in near Jefferson River, Montana. I'm glad that they are all okay. I hope that woman that was flown to the hospital has healed from last year's event. But you got to be traumatized from something like that, don't you? Don't you have to be like, yo, every time you're near a body of water, they just tubing. I don't know if you ever been tubing. I've been once, maybe twice, and it was always part of a ride at a theme park or something like that. And you're just sitting back. It's very relaxing. You're just floating on the water, and all of a sudden, a river otter come up and just jack you and just start gnawing on you. Oh, yeah. Wee. Anyway, moving on. So nostalgia comes to mind with this next story, only because I used to use these products. And I'm talking about Tupperware. Tupperware was the flyest stuff because it could save your food. It came in different shapes and colors. And it was almost like the Jetsons. It was kind of futuristic. The tops fit on just right. And he's like, what? What's the Jetsons? Look it up. Great cartoon. Meet George Jeffin. Yeah. Anyway, you see the gray hair? Yeah. So it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Just in case y'all that's really paying attention. I shave baby face in the summer. I'm letting the beard grow out for the winter like I normally do. Even though summer psyched me out, it's still 90-something degrees during the day, but it's all good. It's about to get cold. And I'll be ready. But it looked gruff right now, because I'm just letting it grow out. But Tupperware has filed for bankruptcy. They say, oh, Mike, why are you telling me that Tupperware? You know why? Because I like Tupperware. I like food storage containers, but I left the plastic ones a long time ago. I got the glass joints. I don't have no plastic containers of any kind in my refrigerator. And I urge you to do the same. Okay? I'll get to why in just a second. Tupperware is 78 years old. The company is 78 years old. It was started in Grafton, Massachusetts in 1946. I'm mentioning this story for several reasons. As a business owner, I have made mistakes. I probably will make more mistakes. I've been a business owner for 22 plus years. And business can peak and can valley. And if you make crucial or fatal mistakes, critical mistakes, your business will no longer survive. I started my business with no loans, no mentorship, no guidance. I read a few books and went for it. First business was successful. I've done a couple other businesses. The business I'm running now, one of them in particular, got a lot of time and effort into it. Hasn't taken off yet the way I want it to. Advertising and getting the word out there takes money. I don't care how you slice it. It takes money. And I'm doing this once again, as I did my other successful business with no loans. And I prefer not to borrow. So, and that's why I ask you always to support the podcast financially if you can. You know, my little ring light is on its last leg. Computer definitely needs to be updated. Cords, I mean, it's all of this stuff involved. So if you got a few dollars, please contribute. It'd be greatly appreciated. But when I read this story about Tupperware, the first thing that came to mind for me was, okay, because they've got $315 million in debt and another $53 million loan. And I couldn't help but think to myself, you've got all of this debt as a 78-year-old company. How? Why? In my assessment, that means the people at the top did not make the right decisions after 70, almost 8 decades. And it was a successful business. Everybody and their mama literally had Tupperware that I knew. They never really used to be commercial. They started out doing like Tupperware parties, like all of these other things like Avon and Amway and all these places. You get your girlfriends together, all the moms together, because dads wasn't doing that shit. Dads was not selling Tupperware. It was a mom thing mostly, right? Get all the ladies and to sell Tupperware. Then you get some distributors under you, and that's how Tupperware really took off and grew. So I think one of their main mistakes was not just commercializing. BPA, which was a chemical in most plastics, I don't know. I assume they were also in Tupperware. BPA and the dangers of BPA came to light around 2008-ish. So that's what, 15, 16 years ago? So even from that point, you didn't start making the right decisions. Like Tupperware should have switched to glass. So I have a large collection that I recently, well, I don't want to say recently, I've had it for some years, that I acquired of vintage Tupperware in pristine condition. I'm going to put it up for sale somewhere soon. But this stuff lasts. It's durable. It's versatile. It was a great product, but they did not evolve. So I'm not trying to down the company. I don't know the ins and outs of their financials. It just seems odd that a 78-year-old company would need to file for bankruptcy. Now, in contrast, I look at a company like Arizona Tea. You ever see those cans, Arizona Tea? And once again, I'm not sponsored. I hate mentioning all these products. It's free pub, free advertising for them. And if any of y'all want to do right by me for mentioning your products, Mike's Opinion Show at gmail.com. You can contact me. I'll tell you where to mail the check. Or we could do ACH. You don't even have to spend money on a postage stamp. You could do direct deposit. Anyway, I saw an interview with the owner and CEO of Arizona Tea. Let me go back to my notes here. And his name is Don Voltazio, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not Don, I apologize. But Arizona Tea has only been in business since 1992. Okay. They debuted in May of 1992. That company is debt free and owns everything, all their equipment, everything. Smart moves. Even these behemoth companies can make wrong moves and find themselves filing the type of bankruptcy that allows them to restructure. There's a different levels, different types of bankruptcy. And I just found that fascinating. If you are one of the people that find the things that I discuss fascinating, like I do, like River Otter snatching people and Tupperware filing for bankruptcy, you my type of people, because I find this kind of shit interesting. And I said the S word. I was trying not to do this episode with no cuss words. But it's amazing to me. After 78 years, Arizona Tea did it since what? 1992 plus, it was 8 plus 24, 32 years. 32 years. Arizona Tea owns everything, debt free. And the interview that I saw, and the interviewer asked him, why don't you raise your prices more than 99 cents? And he said, what for? We're good. Why do I need to charge more? Here comes the greed factor, where the CEO was getting $100 million plus a $30 million bonus. For what if the company is got debt? When my current company grows and staff grows, and then I can venture out to all the other endeavors and companies and industries that I plan on getting into and building this conglomerate, this empire. One of the goals will be to not go public, to stay private, and to become debt free. And I will go into a deep dive and study, Arizona Tea, and maybe even sit down and meet with Don if at all possible, and find out how they went about it. Who I will not be sitting with, and this is no shade, is Tupperware. Because after 78 years, you are filing for bankruptcy. I think that's a bit shameful. And like I said, the Tupperware makes a great product. Please, Tupperware people, I'm not downing you. I'm just saying whoever at the top was making those business decisions seemingly, and I know none of the details, this is all speculation, but seemingly made the wrong choice or choices. Like I said, you should have went to glass long time ago. I'm pretty sure glass container manufacturing has evolved as a process. You should have owned all your manufacturing plants. I watch these. I used to watch Shark Tank a lot, and one of the sharks who I wholeheartedly dislike, I'm not going to say his name, but he always is talking about, why are you not manufacturing in China? In China. The manufacturing costs are cheap. And those are people that are only focused on the profit and the money. And there's so much more to life, so much more to earth, so much more to humans than profit. But they are so profit centric that they sacrifice a little piece of humanity every day they live like that. That's another topic. Not for this show. Big ups to Tupperware. They saved a lot of food for me. Love Tupperware. That should be a tagline. Tupperware. They saved a lot of food for me. You heard it here first, Tupperware. Let's talk. Huh? Anyway, let me look at my notes here. I think that was all of the stories that I have until I get to this last one, which I told y'all is a bit personal to me. So my last story today, doesn't involve me directly, but the reason why I say it's personal to me, so I grew up, born and raised in New York City. bounced back and forth between my mom's and grandmom's crib. One lived in Harlem, one lived in the South Bronx. Had a large network of friends, different camps of friends. If I wanted to play ball, I hang out with these people. If I wanted to do dirt, I hung out with these people. If I wanted to do some other kind of dirt, I hung out with these people. Anyway, all types of friends. Some of my main high school friends went directly to college after high school. I didn't. One of my man's Fly Tie, may he rest in peace. Yeah. But my man, he went to Howard. And my understanding is he was roommates with Diddy. And we called him Fly because he was fly. He used to come pick us up for school in his new Saab. Yeah, it was like that. He was mad fly. May he rest in peace. But moving around New York City the way I did, I wasn't excluded from a lot of things. Okay. I have been in parties and places with a lot of famous people whose names you know. Many of them. One of them is known as Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean John Combs. And that's my last subject today is my man Diddy. And I can't say my man because I don't know him. Dapped him up a couple times, seen him in places. If he saw me, he would not say, I know that dude. Okay, only reason I know him because he's a public figure. But I've been in the room where it happens. I think I said that last episode too. Can you tell I like Hamilton? I don't like Hamilton. I love Hamilton. If you haven't seen it, see it live if you can. If not, catch it on the tube. But it's not tubes, it's flat screens. There are no more tube TVs. Anyway, as I record this, Puff is sitting in a jail cell in New York City right now. And unless some miracle happens, as you listen to this, Puff is probably still in his jail cell. Because not one, but two judges has said your bail is denied until you go to trial. And if he fails at trial, he may never see the outside again for a very long, long time. Wesley Snipes, Red Fox, Bill Cosby. I mean, the list goes on and on of black male figures, prominent figures who have ended up incarcerated. Now, hold on. I'm not going into whether their incarceration is justified or not. Bad people deserve what they get. Okay? I don't think like most people, though. It's probably why my show hasn't blown up. I'm probably shadow banned. And, you know, I can't miss what I ain't never had because the show ain't never took off. So if I am shadow banned, that's just what it is. I'm not, as certain people have suggested, only a couple actually, have suggested I remove certain episodes. If you want to know what those episodes are, I'll tell you. They are Free R. Kelly. One, I think I did 2 parts. Gay and Gay Part 2. Controversial. Because I live in my truth and this is my opinion. It may not be popular. People may disagree with it, but this is how I feel. Truly. And I need to be very, very clear. I'm not advocating for violence, assault, or any criminal or wrong acts of any kind. I am against any of those things. That video that came out with Diddy doing what he did to Cassie was appalling. Okay? Appalling. It was horrible. Can people be driven to make mistakes that are not their true character, but make mistakes? Now, I'm not defending Diddy. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, I don't know him. I do not know him. I know people that know him. My man Fly was not the only one that I know that know Diddy. To me, it's not black and white. It's not simple. It's complicated. Now, supposedly, Diddy got a history of this kind of behavior. Anytime that I've been around, any parties that I've seen or been to, I never witnessed anything like that. Okay? Growing up in New York City, I've seen tons of violence. Violence against women, children, adults. I've seen it all. I have literally seen it all when it comes to violence. Okay? On Earth, at times, violence is necessary. Malcolm X, may he rest in peace, said, by any means necessary. Okay? Sometimes dudes feel like they need to check their chick. Sometimes the chick has responsibility in whatever's going on. We automatically assume that just because she's a female, she's telling the truth. Once again, I need to reiterate that Cassie video was despicable, unnecessary, uncalled for. Uncalled for. Keep in mind, and I doubt that this was the case, there are people that like to play rough like that. There are whole communities, groups, camps that got the whips, chains, belts, ball gags, and all of that like that kind of stuff. There are people that enjoy that. 50 Shades of Grey, think that kind of thing, right? I'm pretty sure this was not the case with Cassie. Cassie looks beautiful, delicate, sweet, and I'm not saying she can't do no wrong. I don't know. Did she deserve what she got on that tape? No. That is not what I'm saying. Understand that. Okay? I've had power over people that work for me. I have been in positions of power in the community. When you get power like that young and you got a bunch of yes men around you, I could see how the monster within you keeps getting fed. If nobody is telling you, yo, you bugging, you tripping, you need to chill, because they fear you or they eating and they don't want to lose that check, or whatever the reason is, and they keep feeding your ego and turning the other way, looking the other way when you're doing some clown stuff, you become a monster. And maybe you know you're a monster, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know. At this point, I don't know. Like I said, I know what I didn't witness nothing crazy. I know all the stories, blowing up cars. I don't know if any of these stories are true. Hanging people off of balconies, roughing people up. You know, these so-called freak offs um, parties where they import. Look, dudes with money fly in chicks all the time. All the time. 2 and 3 of them. Do what they do. They go back to their town. There are inner circles of rich and powerful people that gather and do seemingly fun, wild, enjoyable things. Seemingly. Things that involve alcohol, drugs, sex, debauchery, dancing, eating. I mean, all these parties, lavish. And the entertainment is complimentary. You have a whole wing, or at least a few rooms of a house where you want to knock boots, they're there for that purpose. Now, hiring someone across state lines solely for that for that purpose is often referred to as trafficking. Right? Moving money to do this is a lot of times known as racketeering. There's conspiracy. Drugs are not legal in the United States. Weed still ain't completely legal in the United States. I think they're just about to take it off Schedule 1. And that's just weed. Right? So the drugs for these parties, wasn't none of that shit legal. I'm just saying. Cocaine used to be real big. Ecstasy is now big. Meth. And I don't know. I'm not in that scene. There's probably shit that I don't even know exists. I don't get high no more. I don't drink no more. You say, yo, Mike, what you whack? I've been there, done that. Okay, I'm trying to live healthy for health. If I'm in the right social setting, I might indulge. The far as I'm ever going is some weed and maybe not even weed, it's really alcohol, and I might take a couple hits, but I'm not doing it. It's just I don't want to do it. I don't need to do it. Does that not make me cool? People think, oh, you don't smoke, you ain't cool. I'm cool, fool. Huh? Yeah, believe that. But I don't care what you think if I'm cool or not, because I'm going to be me. If you perceive me as cool, then I then. If you don't, you see me as a nerd, box man, so be it. I don't care. I'm not trying to be cool for you. Back when you're young, you want to fit in. You want to find your people. You want to find your group. You want people to accept you. You want to be cool, man. That's why I had me smoking cigarettes for 30 years, because I wanted to be cool. Huh? Lucky I don't have an iron lung. Man, I say this is a bit personal to me because of me being a black male. I relate to Diddy. Diddy was an icon. I mean, he still really is. He's in trouble right now. We'll see how this fares, how this plays out. But Diddy was the man for a lot of people, right? Independent dude, got with Andre Harrell, started Bad Boy, launched a lot of careers. He had an image in the black community and worldwide, but specifically in a certain demographic, black males being one of them of a certain age, that watched him from the beginning. So to see him go out like this, if that happens to be the case, it sucks. Is there a concerted effort to take down black male icons and role models? I don't know. That would be yet again another sinister things. But this Tuskegee experiment also happened. Um, there are things that have happened. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if we find out that there was a list and these people were given 10, 15, 20, 30 years of fame and prosperity, but what could potentially be normal human bad behavior was highlighted and thrust into the spotlight to condemn them and snatch away everything they have. Just like I talked about the Arizona Tea Company and Tupperware, I can only hope that Puff was honest with himself and he prepared financially for this day, that he got 10, 20, 30 million tucked somewhere. Once again, I'm not advocating for him, but basically for his people, for his children, for his grandchildren, so they don't lose everything. Because, the way it's going right now, the houses might get sold, the cars, I don't know if he's got planes, the jewelry, the assets, they may all have to be liquidated. They may be confiscated, right? Right now, it ain't looking good. But when I look at the claims, Kendrick Lamar just called Drake a certain title. We all know what it is. Probably a minor, talking about them underage girls, right? Like I said, they are teenage girls are prominently featured in every form of advertising there is: print, television, movies, audio, radio, music, everywhere. Right? Why? Why are 16, 17, 18-year-old girls or girls in their young 20s on the cover of every magazine? Commercials. Why are we attracted to them? Why do they successfully sell products? Why are these girls, young girls, on social media attracting sponsorship? And people are willing to pay them handsomely to mention their product and influence people to buy them. There's too many dudes doing that. It's all young girls, young women, beautiful women. They don't even have to be young. But in turn, we're condemned if we are physically attracted to them. Why do you think that advertising with using young girls works? Because people are attracted. It's okay to be attracted to them to buy your product, but you can't be physically attracted to them. He said, yo, Mike, you want some creep shit? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay? I'm just breaking it down. The societal contradictions. It don't get no realer than here at the Mike's Opinion podcast. Okay? It don't get no realer. If you can understand and follow what I'm saying, my logic is unleashed here. Real, honest, true logic. Think to yourself. Analyze it. Look at what I'm saying. Okay? So, why may Diddy want girls at his parties that are there strictly to serve a single purpose, maybe two purposes? It's funny. We will cheer for the criminal. We'll find the criminal, the thug, the gangster endearing in the movies. We love watching the drama on TV. Gangsters beating women, doing drugs, killing people, robbing people for entertainment. We will love to watch it. Follow it, comment, watch the series over and over again. Let it happen on your block. Oh, it's in real life. What? You like watching this. Living it is different, though. Why you like watching it? We watch some of the most horrible stuff. These things under the horror genre or things under the drama genre. Horrible shit. Rape, murder. I mean, the list goes on and on. Horrible. But then we condemn a man who lives the lives we like to watch. Contradiction is an understatement. We want to collectively just destroy someone for what I hope are instances of bad judgment, mistakes, maybe alcohol, stuff like that. Like I said, go back and listen to R. Kelly episodes. You understand how I feel about that. It's along these same lines. And if I get blackballed, shadow banned, whatever, if somebody at one of these companies are stifling my voice because they don't agree with me, it's wrong. We should be able to agree to disagree. You disagree. Same thing with politics. We don't know how to disagree no more. To disagree is a fatality in a relationship. We can't be buddies. We can't be friends. We can't be lovers. We can't barely be neighbors. And if that's the case with my opinion about this, and once again, I will reiterate, I'm not saying Diddy don't deserve to be where he at. That is not what I am saying. I believe we need all the facts. I believe that there's probably not a single person that walked into a Diddy function, whether it be at his house, a hotel, some rental place, that didn't do so on their own volition, that didn't do so willingly because they wanted to be in the place to be. When they got that call, y'all need 6 of y'all to fly out. I'm going to lace y'all with this amount of money, and I need y'all to do this. We on our way. When you up, when you live, when you popping, everybody want to rock with you, right? That's why it's so funny you hadn't heard a whole lot of people, a lot of public personas, a lot of people that's known to have been at these functions. Ain't nobody saying nothing because nobody want their picture or their voice. They don't want to be connected. So a lot of people quiet. And then there are those who throw stones in glass houses, who act like they are not human, like they are not imperfect. They act like they're perfect. One, I saw this little rant by Tommy Loren, and she's some chick, pretty. She's a pretty girl. I think she's on Fox or something like that. And I wonder if she knows why people tune in. Yo, Tommy Loren, or Lauren, however you say your name. Apologize if I'm saying it incorrectly. Why do you think people watch your show? Is it because of the intellectual content? Is it because of the depth? How you deep dive into subject matter? No, it's because you're attractive. I doubt you would have gotten as far as you are without being as attractive as you are. because your content is not really that substantive. It's not that engaging. To me, once again, this is the Mike's Opinion podcast. It's my opinion. This is how I feel about it. This is how I see it. So, I'm not necessarily pleading Diddy's case. I'm not a Diddy sympathizer, but as I said earlier, because this is personal to me in terms of how I relate to Diddy, being from New York, having, been in the places where he's at, having met him briefly, knowing people that know him, and having watched his decades of ascent and popularity, I'm not going to say I don't like seeing it. I wish he would have been, having wholesome, clean fun, and there was no dirt. But apparently, there's a whole landfill full of dirt. Perhaps I don't know. I know he came out before that Cassie video was released and said, this was wrong. He paid Cassie in a day. Probably now people know why. Because Cassie might have had some evidence that could have buried him. Evidence came out. Video will, get it done. It will shine that light. As AI gets better, it's going to be less easy to trust our own eyes. But I don't believe that Cassie video was that. That was hotel surveillance video. So that seems to be true and real. I think the fact is that we're still primal savages at heart. Human beings are. And I think we're living in a mirage. We're living in a mirage of decency, decorum, and correctness. We're not there yet. As a species, we're still the primal savages at heart. We've created these structural societies and enforcers, otherwise known as law enforcement, and the lawmakers, and there is a large swath of calm and abiding by laws. So there isn't what once was just chaos. It seems as if things are worse. There's a lot more people than there used to be, but the debauchery and horribleness of our human actions is not less. In fact, I don't think it's worse. I think it was worse way back before you didn't have to really be accountable and you can get away with whatever you were doing. You look at all of these horrible wars. I'm talking, you can go back millennia. Humans been doing horrible, horrible things, as well as wonderful, wonderful things as well. But we find ourselves here today. And there's not a day that goes by where if you choose to consume, as I do, because I don't want to bury my head in the sand. So I go to places that give me good positive news, and I go to places that give me the news, the mainstream news. And they always lead with the worst. The rapes, the deaths, the robberies, the crime, all the bad stuff. I can't recall a day from when I used to watch news on TV to when I open up a news app on my phone where the first lead story is a death of some kind of violence. We are fed that if you choose to digest it. I do not let that information impact my psyche. It is for informational purposes only, and I suggest you use that information the same. Some of it does hit different, like rest in peace, Mr. Frankie Beverly. I think he was one of a kind, quite unique, and he will be missed. But he has left us a legacy and a musical catalog that will always sound good, at least to me, and I know many others. Will always put me in a mood, in a place, in a vibe that is positive, you know. Oh man, happy people. Yeah. Rest in peace, Frankie. I don't know what you think. I'd love to know. Chime in, like I said, any of my socials, mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. I would like to know your opinion on this story or any of the other stories that I mentioned in this update episode. Forgiveness isn't popular these days because to forgive means to let something that was wrong be accepted and to move past it. I don't know if Diddy's done more that can ever be forgiven. And I know some things are seemingly unforgivable. But it's not good for anybody. What's going on now? But we gonna be all right. Humans have a way of persevering. We have a way of pushing through. Where we're headed, I don't know. Because this is bigger than Diddy. This is bigger than crazy attacking river otters or getting a Lego stuck in your nose. We're moving into an electronic, computerized future. It's electric. You don't know that song? You don't know that song? I know that song. Hey, as always, I hope that you are doing all right. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. If not, I hope you find a pathway to okay. Shout out, I'm not a licensed counselor. And if too many of y'all contact me, I don't know that I can respond to everybody. But right now, if you need to talk, if you need to communicate, you know, we could communicate social media. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. For now, I am here. I don't know if or when my show will blow up in popularity. It is increasing gradually, but it is. Like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, donate if you can. I've got Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, also GoFundMe. A couple of dollars. If you have lots of dollars, send me many dollars. That would be really greatly appreciated. I needed to grow the show. If you know a way that I can get effective free advertising somewhere, light me up, let me know. I believe my voice of reason and my logic needs to be shared with people because I speak honestly, candidly, and it is with love from my heart to help us grow, evolve, heal, and move forward as a species. I'd like to spread positivity to the world. I said, yo, Mike, that Diddy shit was not positive. It was. If you look at the whole shit I was trying to say, on what I was trying to say, if we need to be honest with ourselves as human beings on what we desire, what we do, what we crave, not the facade that we learned in sociology class. For those of us that went to college and took sociology, not the societal fronting. I'm talking about what's really here and here, what you really think, believe, and feel, what you really crave. That may not be politically, spiritually, or societally correct. We've all done something wrong because we're human. It is synonymous with being human. To err is human. To mess up is human. I'm only human. I always think of things in songs. Like, I love music so very much. I can say something and a song will automatically pop up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening and for watching. I'll see you next week. I'm Mike, and this is the Mike's Opinion Podcast.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.